won't forgive Sussex. Charlotte's heartbreaking memory of Gan Gan Kate emotionally wipes away her tears. Princess Charlotte's reaction to seeing the Queen on television was recalled in a speech by Dame Andrea Leedsum to Parliament during a special session to mark the death of Elizabeth II. Dame Andrea Leedsum has shared a heartwarming story about Princess Charlotte with MPs as Parliament gathered to pay tribute to the late British sovereign. MPs exchange memories of the Queen's life, while politicians from all sides of the House of Representatives of Britain's longest ruling monarch, Miss Leeds, and recalled speaking to the Queen at Sandringham Castle during a Privy Council meeting in January. "I remember the Queen saying what a very busy Christmas. She turned around and I suggested that at least her family doesn't have to interrupt Christmas dinner for the Queen's speech, which she told me she certainly did for all of us." Her family paused for lunch to watch the Queen's speech, and Princess Charlotte ran to the TV screen and said, "Look, there's GanGan." Very heartwarming to everyone watching. It struck me that the Privy Council meetings were just one of the Queen's many daily duties, and that her cheerfulness and sparkling eyes were always a constant. Elizabeth, who died aged 96, was commemorated during a minute's silence led by Speaker of the House of Commons Sir Lindsay Hoyle. The Commons and Lords will sit together on Friday and Saturday to allow tributes to the Queen. The procedure is interrupted around 1800 hours, as Charles delivers his address to the nation. Prime Minister Liz Truss has insisted the UK must show it is not afraid of what lies ahead after our lives are forever changed following the death of its icon Queen. Ms Truss said the King has an enormous responsibility which he now shoulders for all of us, adding that while he mourns his sense of duty and service is clear. Ms Truss said to the House of Commons on the death of her father, King George VI. Winston Churchill said the news still had the 20th century clatter of traffic in many countries. Now, 70 years later, in the turmoil of the 21st century, life has stopped again. Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II was one of the greatest leaders the world has ever known. Miss Rust said the Queen remains determined to carry out her duties even at the age of 96. Noting that only 3 days ago in Baltimore she invited me to form a government and once again become her 15th Prime Minister. She generously shared with me her deep government experience, even in those last days. Miss Rust said the Queen's devotion remains an example for us all and lauded her for reinventing the monarchy for the modern age. She said her late Majesty's image is a symbol of what Britain represents as a nation on our coins, on our postage stamps and in portraits around the world. Her legacy will live on through the countless people she has met, the global history she has witnessed and the lives she has touched. She was loved and admired by people across Britain and around the world. One of the reasons for this affection was their sheer humanity. She reinvented monarchy for the modern age. She was an advocate for freedom and democracy around the world. She was dignified but not distant. She was ready to have fun. The so-called Fab Four have been estranged since Meghan and Harry moved to the US, but the Queen's death has reunited them in their grief. Meghan Markle and Princess Kate were spotted side by side at Westminster Hall. A short service is being held in the hall as the Queen's coffin arrives, accompanied by the royal family. While relationships were reportedly tension between the brothers, her grandmother's death seems to have brought the two closer together. Kate appears emotional during the service while Meghan stands beside her stoically. The couple have not spoken to each other in 2 years following Meghan and Harry's move to the United States. The two couples were once known as the Fab Four before the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's dramatic departure from the royal family.